Okay, so we're all pretty familiar with the fact that Adidas ended their collaboration and partnership with Yeezy brand. And we also know some of Adidas's plans to move on from this collaboration, or so we thought. Because today, guys, I've got a pair of sneakers that made everything we thought we knew about what Adidas was going to do next a lot more confusing. So essentially what we do actually know of right now is that since Adidas made that announcement ending the partnership with Yeezy brand, they made it very clear that they own all of the rights to the current Yeezy designs, making it very clear what they intend to do. Basically let the world know we own these designs and we intend to use them. After that announcement, this was more elaborated on by different people over at Adidas, literally coming out in different interviews stating the exact same thing. We own the designs and we intend to use them in 2023. Turns out Adidas literally has $530 million of Yeezy products sat in their warehouses that they just need to get rid of. In order for Adidas to make this money back, they need to be selling these Yeezy products, and that's exactly what they intend to do. What's really interesting is the actual specifics of how they're going to do this. And I think that's been the biggest topic of discussion when everybody heard about the fact that Adidas is still planning to release these Yeezy designs. Now, something that we have gone over and that has been circulating a lot online is the fact that you can actually find the patents for these Yeezy models. And if you take a look at all of the patents that Adidas owns, you can see that it's pretty much the entire Yeezy sneaker lineup. 350s, 700s, 700 V3s, and all of them, the foam runners. There's a lot that Adidas owns. In fact, the only patent that Kanye West owns is the Yeezy Slide. Okay, so that makes a lot of sense. Adidas owns all of these patents. They own the rights, so they are fully 100% allowed to sell these Yeezys. But can they sell them with the Yeezy branding? And this is where I think the biggest confusion came from. If you take a look at a pair of Yeezy sneakers, whether it's the 350s, the 500s, the 700s, all of them have pretty much the same branding, which is some Yeezy naming on the box, and then on the sneaker itself, the only Yeezy branding is on the insole. So the biggest speculation is that Adidas is going to essentially take all of these older Yeezy products, they're going to remove the insole, put this sneaker into a new box, and then sell it. That way they don't sell these Yeezy sneakers with Yeezy branding, and they're selling it with just their brand. And this all sounds pretty straightforward, but then we started getting some leaks that kind of contradict this. And this is the first one that kind of popped up. This is the Adidas 350 Granite. So some of the interesting takeaways that we can see from this pair of sneakers is the fact that we knew that this colorway of the Yeezy 350 was supposed to drop back in November or December, at least according to a lot of the leaks. Now obviously the Adidas collaboration ended in October. Now this Granite Yeezy 350 is supposed to be dropping in January, and apparently is going to be the first Adidas Yeezy sneaker without Kanye West. And even though we can see an official image from Adidas of this sneaker online, but we don't know the most important things about this sneaker, like what does the box look like, and is there still branding on the insole, or what does this new insole look like? So I decided to look around, and it turns out you can actually buy this pair of sneakers online, so I bought it. And here it is, guys. This is the Yeezy 350 Granite, or the Adidas 350 Granite. Now this pair I bought from GOAT, but you can actually find these things on StockX as well, and maybe some other places, I'm not entirely sure. So let's take a look at the box and let's see if there's anything different about this pair of sneakers, because from the looks of it, just you've got the 350 on the top, that's pretty much the same. You've got the Boost on the side, that is pretty much the same. And there you go, you have Yeezy branding over on the size tag side of the box, and you also have some Yeezy branding on the other side as well, or at least you have YZY. The box is literally unchanged from what we have come to know when it comes to a Yeezy 350. So taking a look at the sneakers themselves, let me pull them out. This is it right here. This is the upcoming Yeezy or Adidas 350 Granite. To show you guys that this is in fact from GOAT, there you got your little branding and stickers and stuff over there. So another place where you would normally find Yeezy branding is on this tag. So if you take a look, let me just peel this off to the side. As you can see there, yeah, there's still Yeezy branding on this sneaker. Okay, well, how about the insole of the pair of shoes? Well, let's pull this out, and yeah, you still have the same insole with the Yeezy branding. Now, just for reference, just so you guys know that this is in fact the granite Adidas 350 or whatever we're supposed to be calling this pair of sneakers. I've got the other two 350s that both released when Kanye West was still with Adidas. So this is the first one. Salt Core is what they called this one. And then I also have the Slates. This is another pair of 350s. See, this Slate pair has the Yeezy branding on the insole. Same thing with this granite pair. These are all identical sneakers, guys. The only difference is obviously the colorway. Different shades of slightly earth tone color. So how does this pair of shoes exist? And you might be thinking to yourself at this point in the video that that's easy, right? That's it. There's a simple answer. And that is that this sneaker was backdoored. It was produced way before Adidas made that announcement that they were ending the partnership. And the retailers and different people that got their hands on this pair of shoes before that announcement decided to sell it to different resale platforms to make a little bit of extra money. And that makes sense. Honestly, if you take a look at the production date on this pair of sneakers, it is 04/22. So these were produced in April of last year. And that makes sense because the Slate 350s also have 04/22 and the Salt colorway was produced 2 months later in June. And that seems like a pretty open and shut case. It explains all of the branding and everything on this pair of shoes, or at least that's what I thought. Then we got a new leak that surfaced online which made this way more confusing. So take a look at this sneaker. This is supposed to be the first Adidas 500 sneaker to release, and it actually got leaked at a very similar time that this one did. Also supposed to be one of Adidas's first colorways for these new Yeezy models that they're going to be releasing at some point this month. But the interesting part about this pair of sneakers is that if you take a look at the branding on it, it has all of the Yeezy branding on the tags as well as the insoles. Now you may be thinking it's the same story. This sneaker obviously just got backdoored as well, but guys, take a look at the production date on this pair of shoes. It says November 2022. So that means that Adidas produced this new colorway of a Yeezy 500 with Yeezy branding on it after they announced that they were ending the Yeezy collaboration. So the question is why? Why did Adidas produce this sneaker with all of the same Yeezy branding after they ended the collaboration? If you take a look at their statement, they make it very clear that they immediately ended all production of Yeezy products. So what has changed between October the 25th and now? Well, in order to answer that, we kind of have to enter into the world of speculation because there's a lot of different theories online and it's just really hard to figure out what exactly is going on here when it comes to all of these patents and who owns what. Does Kanye West own the designs? Does he own the name? What is going on here? Well, there's a few things that kind of cross my mind, and the first one is that since we're seeing these two pairs of Yeezys full of Yeezy branding pretty much being identical to what they've released in the past, is Adidas allowed to release Yeezys with the Yeezy branding? I mean, we know that Kanye West owns the name Yeezy, and we've all been operating under the same assumption that Adidas has to remove this branding before releasing these products. But what if they don't? I mean, it's entirely possible that Adidas cut some kind of deal with Kanye or something's allowing them to release products with this branding. We're not entirely sure yet. All we know is that we've got two brand new Yeezy colorways full of Yeezy branding after the announcement that the collaboration has ended. And we've also seen no new Adidas boxes for these sneakers, and we've also seen no new Adidas insoles. There also could be a simple explanation for this, just the fact that Adidas hasn't gotten around to doing that just yet, and when they actually officially launch these products, they will be changing the insoles and the boxes. Then that kind of makes this sneaker existing quite problematic. Like, let's say now I own this pair of shoes and Adidas then decides to release this exact same colorway without the Yeezy branding, but suddenly I can be like, yo, why does this sneaker exist with Yeezy branding? It's kind of like, how does this pair of sneakers exist if Adidas hasn't released it? Why is this here? How do people have the 500s with the Yeezy branding? It's just not adding up. Now, if Adidas is actually allowed to release these pairs of shoes with the Yeezy branding, I think that is pretty crazy. Because that means there's going to be zero difference between the new Adidas sneakers and the old Yeezys. They are going to be fully identical. However, if Adidas is not allowed to use the Yeezy branding, I had to have escaped Adidas's manufacturing somehow and end up in my hands or on on GOAT's website and on StockX's website and God knows where else. But this is apparently the Granite Yeezy 350, which is going to be dropping this month, released by Adidas without Yeezy brand. Still yet to see any actual proof that Adidas is going to be changing up the branding. All we have is 2 sneakers that both have Yeezy branding. Either way, guys, I saw this pair of shoes and I thought it'd be so interesting to take a look at them and actually see, like, I didn't know what I was going to get in the mail. I didn't know whether I was going to get an Adidas box with completely new insoles or whether I was going to get a Yeezy product. But listen, guys, again, we're going to have to speculate on this topic for a little bit longer until Adidas finally comes out and makes their plans concrete. Do you think Adidas can actually release these sneakers with Yeezy branding, or is this just a simple explanation? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section, but that pretty much wraps it up. Thank you so much for coming through, hanging out for yet again another video. Thank you for liking, commenting, and of course subscribing. I'll catch you guys in the next one, but until then.